Jetzt muss ich wieder Friedrich Merz verteidigen. Unglaublich, ich mache das immer wieder. Ich mag es nicht, aber ich muss es tun. Weil er ein kleines bisschen Israel kritisiert hat. Jetzt ist es Drama. Aber ich finde, er hat recht. Und ich erzähle euch gleich, warum. So, that's the deal. Another politician in the Western world that is finally, at least seems like, is starting to open their eyes to what is actually going on in Israel-Gaza conflict, right? So, people, for a lot of people, it's been clear from pretty much the start that Israel's reaction to October 7th is completely out of proportion, right? Now, I'll be honest, in the beginning, I was on Israel's side completely because I was like, wow, that's crazy. A bunch of people jumped over this fence and killed a bunch of innocent kids at a party. That's fucking bananas. They should certainly do something about it. What I didn't think they were going to do is just blow up the whole country, right, with everybody in it. Okay, and that's what they're basically doing. All right? And I know that people out there, oh, it's going to be, oh, you can't, you're a Jew, you hate Jews, and you're anti-Semitic and all that shit. I don't care about any of that shit. You can call me whatever you want. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Because what I say, I mean exactly what I say when I talk, right? So I don't like have hidden messages in what I say. I'm not secretly saying one thing when I'm saying another, right? And so all you haters who think that because of what I'm about to say, that means I'm an anti-Semite, I don't care what you think. So if you think I'm an anti-Semite, go for it. Don't give a fuck. All right? I'm just telling you how I think it is. Guys, it's Tuesday. It's the 27th of May, 2025, 7:45 in the morning in Germany. This is the Insanity Report for today. And so I was watching News, right? News, I'm sure a lot of you guys watch it. It's basically the only reliable news program on the internet for Germany, right? And live. You can't fucking rely on Tagesschau and ARD and ZDF and all those people to give you the real story. And these guys do their best at News to do that. They actually do. They have some opinion stuff about things, absolutely, but they do tell you all the facts as they know them. So I praise them on that. I watch them every morning. A lot of times I get the stories that I talk about from them. And this is one of those times because I have to say, the people at News, generally I agree with most of the things they say, but in this case I disagree completely because they are pretty pissed off about Merz criticizing the government of Israel, right? He's not hating Jews. He didn't say anything about Jews. He just said that he doesn't really understand anymore what exactly Israel's goal is here with what they're doing, and that there are very big humanitarian questions about what is going on in Gaza, which is all true, right? First of all, my position is I don't think that any other country should be funding another country's war. Doesn't matter if it's in Ukraine, doesn't matter if it's Israel, doesn't matter what the reason is. I don't support the killing of a bunch of innocent people. If the politicians who create these wars would get in a cage and beat the fuck out of each other, I would be all fine with that, right? I'd even go and watch. I'd even bet on it, right? That would be fucking amazing. And a great way to solve these problems, because the thing is, the fights aren't between the people generally of different countries, right? The fight isn't so necessarily between the Ukrainian population and the Russian population. No, it's the politicians, the so-called leaders, right, that are actually our servants. Let's remember that. They are creating the fight and saying to the peons, you go kill each other and we'll see who wins. I don't agree with that in any context, and I don't think that anybody should be supporting it in any context. I certainly don't want any of my money going to it, but it is against my will, right? My money's being used for Ukraine, and my money's being used for Israel. And both I do not agree with that my money should go to it. I don't want to support it with my money, I don't want to support it in any way. I think that especially when a bunch of innocent people that have nothing to do with it are getting slaughtered, that is basically unacceptable. I just can't do anything about it, right? Because I'm not in a position to. That doesn't mean that I can't have my opinion on it. Friedrich Merz is in a position to do a little bit about it. So even though it's just talk, right? I don't think that Friedrich Merz really means he's going to do anything, right? He's not going to cut off funding to Israel. All the people that are pro-Israel and pro what they're doing are all, oh my God, Germany has to support Israel without question. No, that's insane. You can't just support any country without question. That's crazy. How the fuck can you even say that? That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. You know what I mean? Because really, morally, financially, physically, you really can't support what Israel is doing, right? I've heard so many debates on this topic now that it's coming out of my ears, right? And every time the pro-Israeli side of the debate cannot convince me that what they are doing is righteous and necessary, right? It's, first of all, not necessary, right? It's not necessary. See, what happens in the real world, let's say a couple of people rob a bank, and the bank is in the bottom level of a big high-rise building or office building. So there's other businesses in that office, right? In that office building. And they take a bunch of hostages at the bank downstairs. Never once in the history of ever, right, have the police gone, well, we got to get the hostages back, and, even if we can't, we've got to make sure that these bank robbers can't ever do this again. So let's just blow up the whole fucking building and everybody in it. That'll surely solve the problem. Right. Yeah, that will solve the problem. You know what I'm saying? If Israel nukes Gaza, they'll probably get rid of 99% of the people there, so including Hamas, right? But then everybody else is dead too. You know what I'm saying? But then Israel will have attained its goal. Hamas will never do this shit again. So they've got that. And that's basically what it looks like from Israel's actions, right? That looks like that's what their intentions are, right? It looks like their intentions are to just blow the place to fucking smithereens, regardless of how many innocent people are there, how many kids are there. They don't give a fuck about any of that. And I know they keep saying, but we send flyers and we send text messages. Yeah, how many text messages are getting through to people in Gaza at the moment? Really? I'm sure their cell towers are functioning fantastically. Have you guys looked at Gaza yet? Have you looked at it like from an aerial photo? Take a look. You tell me if you think it's logical that any type of cell tower, except for military communication, is working there. So they're not getting any text messages, right? And then they drop flyers. Oh, they drop flyers. Oh, isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? Just imagine you're chilling at your house in Germany, right? And the Russians are coming, like the politicians want you to believe, right? And let's say they just drop a bunch of flyers over your house and say, dude, sorry about your house and your life and your pets and all that shit, but you gotta haul ass out of here because in 15 minutes, we're blowing away the whole fucking place. And so my house is gone then, right? Your house is gone, right? How thankful do you think you would be of the Russians? You think you'd be out there going, oh, thank you, Russia. Thank you. You guys are so great. You sent us flyers. Wow, that's amazing, right? Well, we wouldn't have to worry about that here because we could go to France, to Spain, to fucking, we can leave, right? The people of Gaza can't leave. So they're getting shoved to one corner with their house is already gone. Now they're living in like some mud hut or a tent or some shit. They get pushed to one side and then they get pushed to another side. And a lot of times, a lot of them just get blown away, right? And Israel's the people that support Israel, their excuse is always the same. They're like, well, yeah, but what are you going to do? They're using the people as human shields. We've got to kill Hamas. So if they're using these people as shields or they're hiding in their houses, sorry, they're fair game. I mean, they voted for them, right, guys? They voted for Hamas. So, I mean, they voted the wrong way, guys. I don't know what to tell you. We got to kill everybody. Otherwise, we're never going to get Hamas. That's basically their reasoning. And to me, as a critical thinking person that is not going to look at this only through an emotional lens, that makes no fucking sense, right? It's dangerous. And there are alternatives to attaining their goal. It's just they don't want to do that, right? They don't want to do that. It's easier just to bomb the fuck out of the whole place and make sure everybody's dead, right? And it's even easier because they're like shooting into a bucket, right? Because the people can't leave. And everybody that says, oh, they can leave. There's countries that have refugee camps for Palestinians. Yeah, okay, which ones and how are they getting there? Right? Let's say there are countries. I'm sure that there's countries that would open their doors to Palestinians. How are they getting them there? They're not, because there's no fucking airport in Gaza. There's no way to get them out by boat, right? Nobody's going in and rescuing them, and they're not getting across any fucking border, unless in extreme circumstances or they bribe somebody, but they don't have any money, right? So it's crazy to say, well, they could just leave, but they can't fucking leave very far, right? So all of those things combined, it's very hard to figure out what's true and what's not, because both sides of the conflict are spewing propaganda 24 hours a day, just like with the Russia-Ukraine thing, right? So it's very hard, unless you're ideologically invested in this, where you just believe whatever your side tells you, which there are a lot, most people are like that, right? Most people are ideologically set up to, I'm on the side of Palestine or I'm on the side of Israel, and that's it. No nuance, nothing will move them from that position, right? And at the very least, Friedrich Merz is openly saying, maybe we should look at this again. This is not going very well, right? And for those people out there, the Germans that are out there talking about, Israel has to be our Staatsräson. Oh, no, they fucking don't. We have to support Israel without question. No, that's crazy. That's crazy. No, you don't. Why? Why? Because of our past as Germans. Well, listen, first of all, I'm not German. And second of all the Germans that are alive today don't have shit to do with World War II or any harms to the Jews. Stop trying to make everybody live under this guilt that they don't have. That's crazy. That's crazy. I have nothing to do with World War II. Therefore, I have no reason to blindly support Israel for any fucking reason whatsoever. If I'm going to support Israel, it has to make sense. It has to be the right thing to do. It has to be logical. It has to be because they are righteous in some way or another. And with what they are doing, they are not righteous, right? And I don't care what the legal numbers are, and but Israel's very careful and they only kill so many civilians to so many combatants, and all of those numbers do not matter to me. I don't care. I don't want innocent people being killed because of political arguments. I don't want that, because I wouldn't want that to happen to me or my family either, because some fucking dumb German politician may get us into a fucking war with Russia. I don't want to die because Russia gets in a war with us because of a conflict they're having with our loudmouth, no-brain politicians that amazingly have the keys to power in this country, but definitely shouldn't, right? So if I wouldn't want myself or my family to get blown away for no reason or political reasons, then I don't want that for other people either, and that includes the people of Gaza, right? It's not like a bunch of innocent Israelis are currently being slaughtered by the people of Gaza, by Hamas. No, nobody's getting into Israel. Only soldiers are fair game, and nobody's killing any more innocent people in Israel. That happened on October 7th. It was very, very bad. I don't support Hamas. I think Hamas is a terrorist organization. But that doesn't mean that I can't be for or pro the innocent people that are being ruled over by Hamas, that have no choice, no power. They can't get away from them. I do support them, right? And I have the right to. And if Friedrich Merz is going to do one thing, and he's not even, the thing that bothers me about Merz is the guy is the Chancellor of Germany, and all he's doing is running around from country to country, parading around as if he were the fucking foreign minister. You know what I'm saying? Listen, there's a lot of fucking problems in this country. Come back here and fucking work on those, right? Get Germany out of everybody else's fucking problem. It's also a great way to save money, which we talked about yesterday, right? A great way to save money is not to give money to Israel, not to give money to Ukraine, not to give foreign aid to every fucking bullshit project on every side of the world, not to give a bunch of money to NGOs. How about you spend most of the tax money here on the people that pay the fucking taxes. How's that for a plan? Oh, well, it's more complicated. No, it fucking isn't. No, it isn't. It's only complicated because you make it complicated. All right? So, look, if Friedrich Merz is actually changing his tune on Israel and going to start approaching Israel with a more critical eye, a more critical approach, and it would be even better if he dropped aid to Israel. Stop funding other people's war. If they want to fucking blow each other away, let them without my money, please. Right? And look, as a citizen, I don't have to justify shit to those people. I don't want my money going to any of these wars, period. That is my first and foremost stance. If I feel like I should take my money and donate it to somebody else to do something, I will decide that, not you. And since the government is doing that against my will, since the government is funding other wars with my money against my will, my position is I'm against that no matter what. And I don't have to justify it. I don't have to tell you any shit. I don't have to morally fucking confess or get on my knees and tell you, oh, I'm sorry. I will explain exactly what I mean. No. I just don't want my money going to it. They're going to put my money towards it anyway, so I'm against it. That's it. And that's the end of the story. And what really pisses me off is Alexander Kistler on news talking about, no, Israel has to be defended by Germany at all costs, no matter what, without question. That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard almost anybody say. That's ridiculous, right? That's ridiculous. Because you wouldn't do that in any other context in life. You would never say to anybody, no matter what you do, I will support everything you do, right? That nobody does that. I'm sorry. And I know that people are going to make the argument, well, but people do it with their kids. Yes, that's true. They're kids, right? There are people that do that with their kids. And even then, in the end, there is still a fucking line, right? A lot of people probably wouldn't continue to support their kids if their kids became serial killers or mass murderers, right? They might feel sorry for them and feel a bond to them, but who knows how much support they'd be giving them, right? Maybe a little. But again, that's their kids. That's not some other country's government that makes autonomous decisions that have nothing to do with you, right? And also, for the last time, Israel, the government of Israel, doesn't mean all the people in Israel. Doesn't mean Jews, right? If the Jews and the people that support Israel want to make them all the same thing so that they can bash us over the head with it for criticizing the government of Israel, that's fine. They have the right to do that. But I have the right to say, go fuck yourself, okay? Go fuck yourself. I don't care if you can twist words around and change definitions all you want to try to shut me up. That's never happening. Never, ever, ever. If you want to shut me up, you're going to have to physically beat me to shut me up. So good luck. All right? That's it. And that's kind of the position that most people should really take in it. Right? Let's be honest. We're all tired of being hit over the head with what you can and can't say, what you can and can't support, what you're allowed to support and what you're not. Oh, you're not allowed to be pro-Palestine because they made it into, that means you're pro-Hamas. I didn't ever say anything about Hamas. I never fucking said I was supporting Hamas. Did I say that one time in this whole video? No, I didn't. But when the video comes out, the haters are going to see it and they're going to go, it's a Hamas supporter. Even Trump's administration is doing this, which is crazy, right? Right? Crazy. Automatically, if you support Palestine or the Palestinian cause or the people of Gaza, you are automatically then, well, that means you support Hamas. Well, look, I never said that, but if you're going to say that no matter what, then fuck you. I don't care. Then think what you want. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty clear, right? I'm pretty clear. I can speak 3 languages. I can be clear in all 3. So, look, whatever the other side keeps saying about, well, that means you're an anti-Semite or whatever, look, I don't care about any of that shit. The fact is, Israel has destroyed all of Gaza. Fact is, their goal looks to be they want to take over all of Gaza again, right? That's what they want to do. Some of them admit it, some of them don't, right? And in the process of doing so, they are slaughtering a whole bunch of innocent people that have nothing to do with this or want nothing to do with it. And if Friedrich Merz actually starts to see that and is now going to change his tune a little bit, then I'm all for it. I'm all for pulling all the funds from Israel. We don't have to support this bullshit at all, right? At all. So, hey, in this one instance, I'm on Friedrich Merz's side on this. You know what I mean? I don't think it's actually going to do anything because everything Friedrich Merz says is basically a toothless tiger, right? It's basically just talk and no action, right? That's Friedrich Merz. I don't expect him to be any different now, but I support what he said. And that's all the reasons I just listed are the reasons why. So there you go, guys. That's it for today. Hopefully we start seeing some action in this country. Maybe, some things will get cheaper or who knows, something. Do something here that will benefit us, the people that are paying for all this shit. That'd be great. Thanks for getting your merits. All right, people. Catch you guys later.